Yes, we are back. This is Off the Shelf Reviews. I am the Lapsed Comic Fan. You can call me Steve. And with me is my esteemed, amazing partner, Lunchbox Comics, or Warren. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. Happy to kick off our first show on our new channel.
Woohoo! Channel. So a couple of things first before we get right into the book, which we're going to be reviewing DC K.O. Batman Knightfight #2, which we did #1, which was great. And we've done DC K.O. 1 and 2. We're covering this whole event and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun doing this. So what we're going to do is we've decided that each of us are going to do a short, probably like one a week or as much as we can. But instead of doing a full show on all the fight week that they had, there was 8 issues of fight week. We're going to do those in shorts. Like it's like Superman versus the Atom, Wonder Woman versus Lobo, stuff like that. So we're going to do those in short format. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I think that way we can get all of them done, which would be really cool, I think.
Yeah.
And the next review we're going to do is DC K.O. #3. So that way we don't have to dedicate a whole show to all of the fights. That way you can get them in short form. And I think it'll be cool. And yeah. And there's...
What's up, Dingus?
What's up, Dingus Den? How you doing? So
yeah,
that's
I think
what we're
that'll
going to
be a cool way to do it, because those KO ones are, the verses are cool, but I think we can handle those pretty easily in shorts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with both of us working on this, it's going to take a while, but it'll catch on at some point. Yeah, it'll catch on. And this one in particular, the art in this book, Dan Mora, my God, dude. This dude just like, he's drawing like 9 books a month, and none of them seem to dip in quality. And this book in particular has some of the best Batman art that I've seen. And don't get me wrong, Jorge Jimenez is amazing, right?
Yeah.
But I think a lot plays on the story and what you're able to do with Batman. And this right here is pretty much a quintessential Batman style story. You know, he's going up against his greatest fears, which is pretty cool. So overall, Warren, what did you think of Batman Knightfight #2?
I really liked it. This whole side quest is just as interesting as the KO books themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I really am enjoying. What's up, WC? I am enjoying how this goes, and I'm excited to see where this ends up at, because it is, you know, Batman's facing like these manifestations of each one of his fears based off of each one of his sons, and it's just really, really interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with after this one, and then with the other 2 sons too. And I also like the fact that it's not like, okay, Nightwing is this book, Red Hood is this book. They travel into each other. So like you get the Nightwing one ends in this one, and then we get to see the Red Hood, and then the Red Hood one will end. Yeah, I like how that goes too. It's keeping me very intrigued.
Yeah, and I think the combination of both of our theories is correct. I definitely, you know, the Heart of Apocalypse is definitely doing this, and he's definitely going through different iterations, because he brings up in this book later on, he's like, what is this, when you were in the dark multiverse? And I actually have both of those.
Yeah,
right here. Or was this where you're a giant dude with an axe on your chest and all this other stuff? So I'm wondering if Knightfight 4 ends where he's in the absolute universe.
That would be interesting. The cover for it makes me feel like it's going to be a bit of a tearjerker. So it'd be interesting to see how this whole thing ends up. And is this Batman's road back into the tournament?
I think
this
so.
His own kind of special side mission to prove.
I think it's his road back in. I think you're right.
Yeah.
And Knightfight 3 is already out. I did not read it yet. I wanted to wait. So yeah. It's pretty cool, man. Like I definitely dig this, and Williamson is doing pretty good. He's actually writing some interesting stories. And this book right here, I put up because a buddy of mine, Chris Stevens, He's editing right now for Image Comics, a few different creators. He's done some stuff with Kirkman, Jeff Johns, Scott Collins, a bunch of other people, but he's doing Lost Fantasy right now. He is editing Lost Fantasy, and this is the volume 1 trade paperback, so you can get that pretty much anywhere. It's really cool, man. It's a fucked up book. And yeah, he's gonna come on the show and we're gonna talk, and it'll be fun. He's also doing Tyrant, and that's what he's gonna be plugging when he comes on. And there's a very interesting story about how me and him met. So it's been a long relationship. I've known him now. It'll be almost 20 years now. So pretty wild, man. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it'll be cool to pick his brain too. I mean, he's working some with in the big leagues, so it'd be cool.
Yeah, he's worked with some guys. Now, I don't, with being an editor, I'm not sure exactly how much you're not in the same room or anything. I know he does stuff out of his house, but I'd be more interested to hear about like Scott Collins, who did a lot of art for John's Flash run. I that's more interesting to me than editing down the scripts and stuff like that. That to me is way more interesting.
Yeah.
But all right, man, let's get into this, Warren. Let's get into Knightfight number 2. So, awesome cover here. We got our Batman is in the lighter blue. So, and Dick Grayson Batman obviously has the batons, but he'll be in the darker black. So, anybody who needs to be able to see that is who we got here. So, this is what we were talking about with the fight week. This is the stuff we'll be doing our little shorts on. So this is for the tournament be crowned King Omega, and I have all these issues, so that'll be fun to do. And there's Superman versus Captain Atom, Aquaman versus Hawkman, Wonder Woman versus Lobo, the Cyborg versus Swamp Thing, Harley Quinn versus Zatanna, the Flash Jay Garrick versus Guy Gardner, which that issue was fucking cool, man. That was a really cool. Oh yes, that was I don't want to ruin it for anybody. I might have you do that one because I've already read it. So, dude, it's crazy. Lex Luthor versus Etrigan, the Demon, and one of what Warren was waiting for quite some time was Red Hood versus the Joker.
And that was a good one. I liked that one.
Yeah, and they got some pretty decent writers on here. Aquaman, Hawkman is Jeremy Adams, and John Timms is the art. Like incredible. Joshua Williamson did Superman, Captain Atom. Joel Jones and Jason Howard and Carrie Nord. John Layman and Pete Woods did Cyborg Swamp Thing. Leah Williams and Mirka Adolfo did Harley Quinn Zatanna. Mark Waid did Jay Garrick versus Guy Gardner, and then Williamson and Hayden Sherman did Luthor and Etrigan, and then Scott Snyder and Joshua Williamson with art by Dustin Nguyen and Giuseppe. I can't read that. Camicoli did Red Hood versus Joker. So we'll get into those. You can start seeing some of those shorts coming out soon. I'm going to start working on mine probably tomorrow. So, and Warren, I'll let you do Lobo versus Wonder Woman because I know you liked that one. So
yeah.
And I'll start with Captain Atom versus Superman. And we'll just go from there. So, all right, let's get into this book, man. Okay, so the book starts off it's kind of Batman reminiscing while he's in choke from Dick Grayson, and he's kind of talking about that Dick hasn't really learned his lesson yet, at least this Dick. It's based along this utopia that Dick has somewhat created, and the guise of Batman is untrustworthy and Dick trusts, but there's kind of like a little bit of a tell, and they'll get into that. And he feels his heart rhythm, and he's like, I feel Dick's heartbeat. He's like, stand down, old man, you've lost your mind, because he keeps yelling about the tournament. He says, the rhythm as he yells at me tells me tells me what he sees as the truth, but his heart betrays him. The Justice League was tasked with entering a tournament, a challenge. We were told we could bring one item with us into the fight. So he kind of recaps, and that page is freaking brilliant. Look at that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. And Batman's talking basically he says, I cheated. He brought that mother box thing, that transporter thing. So that should have taken him back technically to the 616, or no, not sorry, 616, to Earth Prime or Zero, whatever it is. They're on Earth Zero, right? Earth
I
Zero,
think so.
Yeah, I can't remember where they're at right now. I keep saying the 616 because I read that stupid Marvel book.
It's the main DC universe.
It's the main DC universe, which is I think it's not Earth Prime, but it's Earth 1 or Earth 0 or whatever. It's the main one. And says your heart gave you away. It doesn't match your age. I know what being Batman does to our bodies, and the heartbeat I just heard wasn't yours. This world is a lie. So kind of great.
That's okay.
Good Lord. WZ says very stylized. I don't know, the colors are a little weird for me. It still works, just not my fave. Yeah, I mean, if you don't like the colors, that's one thing, but this is what he was using whenever he went inside the tournament, so I can understand. I think they had to make them different because if it was just looking like Batman looking the same, it'd be kind of hard to tell them apart. But I do understand what you're saying.
And also the color themes follow, like we'll see here in the future. The color themes follow the Robin, like in place. So like this one's very heavy with Nightwing colors, and then when we go to the next part, it switches over and almost becomes a one of those black, white, and red kind of looks. But it's mostly just because of the Red Hood.
So he's basically, they're still arguing where Dick's like, you have to trust me. Batman's telling me he died in the tournament. Joker killed him. And the heart, this is what he says. I tried to escape and the heart didn't like that. So when he went to go back to the original universe, the heart pretty much made him start skipping through time, or this is all inside the heart.
Yeah.
This is a manifestation of the heart. And the time skips, I do believe, are still definitely alternate realities, whether or not the heart is playing him, because they mentioned some things. Now it could just be the heart mentioning them, but they mentioned some actual realities that we've seen in comics. So it's probably just inside the heart and it's testing him, which makes the most sense comparatively to what.
Yeah, and we saw in the Versus books, the heart can essentially create, like, each hero gets to create what body they want to show up in for the rounds of the fight. So the heart has like very big manipulation powers when it comes to reality. So this could be just finding multiverses, or it could be just a manifestation. We're not 100% sure.
Right. The only reason why I thought it was actual different multiverses or different universes is because he used the mother box. It did. Yeah. We saw it. He transported somewhere. You know, it transported somewhere. So it's probably the heart stopped it and then was like, no, you're coming with us. You're coming with me. So he kind of talks he said that he said I tried to escape, but the heart didn't like that. So it made this world for me. So there you go. And he said, I thought I could save you, Bruce. I wanted to help you, but now I see you're far gone. So everything that this thing is doing, all the opposition, is everything that he's ever been worried about or been scared about or feared.
Yeah.
And that's basically the crux of the book. And Dick tells him his Robins are everywhere. You can never escape them. And this is where Batman tells him, like, that was the other tell. He's like, you let your Robins fight for you. Dick would never do that. He knows I always fought alongside my Robins. He's like, I trained you and your brothers and sisters, and I bet my Robins can kick your Robins' asses. So this is where we get the page in book, a part of the book, and it tells us the future is gone, Earth will be apocalypse, Darkseid will win. Unless one member of the Justice League can possess the energy to become a god like Darkseid, to become the King Omega, that is humanity's only chance at survival. But to accomplish this, the League must enter a deadly tournament controlled by the Heart of Apocalypse. Friends against friends, allies against allies, no mercy. Batman lost in the first round and now finds himself in a new challenge designed just for him. One that forces him to fight against his former Robins. So I definitely think this is a way to get back into the tournament, because something has to either happen to Superman or they figure out a way to beat Darkseid together. Something's going to happen. The Trinity, I really think that both Trinities on the Absolute Universe and the regular, something has to happen. They have to meet. Something has the worlds have to cross over at some point. And this could be that, because we only seen Superman go into the Absolute Universe, and that was just him going to find Booster Gold, and he fought against the Legion of Superheroes, and that's when Superboy Prime came back, and it just was ridiculous. So basically, Batman kicks the shit out of all these Robins. And he's like, "Are you sure you trained them? They're soft." And that's when Dick tries to take him on, and you want to take it from here?
Yeah, we get this absolutely gorgeous panel of them fighting, and Batman's narrating, talking about how, you know, Dick's always been kind of a natural at this, and he never wanted him to be Batman. He always thought he was going to be something more, but he always knew he was going to be a better Batman than him. And just more beautiful Dan Mora artwork as it goes through. And Batman is pretty much full in now. Like, he knows that this is either not his reality or not a real reality that he is part of. So that's starting to play into it more and more.
Yeah.
And then here he kind of tricks, or he tells, you know, he tells Dick, "Hey, you're right, I killed them." And then Dick was like, "Okay, hey, we'll get the venom wear off you. Well, you know, I'll help you out." And then Batman does what Batman does here and knocks him out almost. And then Batman
is too trusting. Yeah.
Oh yes, way too trusting. And that one, he mentions that too. It's like this Dick is more of like a mirror of everything that he feared could happen to Dick. Like Dick was as a natural leader, they mentioned in the first book. In this one, he's more of like leaders lead up front, and this Dick is kind of like behind everybody and letting them do the fight for him. And there's all these tells that this is not his year or his world. And then he's straight up going to play the game, and he looks like he's going to kill Dick Grayson. And then he gets hit with, I'm not sure if it's like this, because it's transitioning into the Red Hood world. So I don't know if this is just a shock from the Red Hood or it's like a lightning bolt, but essentially he gets hit in the back, and then it transitions with another hit to, he says, a prisoner in this cell.
Yeah, so I think it's just transporting him. I think it's just transporting him. It's kind of like how like the mother box transports, because he's definitely going to somewhere else. Because we've seen that this world that he's in here has people in it, and we'll find out here. So he ends up in a prison cell, and it's black and white. Yeah, it's kind of black and white, and then the only color we have is it's shades of gray and like sepia tones for his skin, but the red is what's prominent. And Red Hood, or Batman, says, "You try to escape again. It's time for your treatment." He's like, "Jason? Like, what the fuck?" It's like, "Jason is dead. Call me Batman." And he's like, Batman's still like, "This isn't real." And this is where I think some really cool lines are said. He said, "Which is the lie this time? What reality are you saying you're from? Were you trapped in the dark multiverse?" Kind of like this right here, these ones, the dark multiverse. He said, "You had the powers of Superman." That's from World's Finest, where they were skipping through a bunch of different worlds, like the Alex Ross Kingdom Come world, which is awesome. great book if you're not reading World's Finest. You were buff and carried a big axe.
The straight up absolute world.
Yeah, he said you held a Green Lantern ring. And so this person, this Jason, which is being manifested from the heart, already knows the argument. Like he already knows that he's gonna say, "Oh, it's the tournament and all this stuff. The heart's it's playing me." You know, oh, so it's the Apocalypse tournament one. That old nugget. So he's trying to make it seem like every universe he's going to, or every reality that he sees, or whatever the heart's showing him, it's putting up a bigger opposition. There's no way for him to talk to them. What the game wants is for you to do what the game asked and to kill the people. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to kind of like, what did they say? Like whenever you have something that's weighing you down, like you cut it out. If your hand causes you to stumble, you cut it off.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like that whole type of thing.
And this is going into a different, like, I don't know if like he did the switch because he was getting ready to kill Dick Grayson. So it's like, okay, you passed this fear. Now we're going to transition you into this new one where, you know, it's Red Hood based, which will be based more upon his anger and wanting to take on everything alone, which is kind of the theme for the Red Hood in this part here. And then he let's see here. He's talking about his family, and he tells him that in the next page here, he tells him that, like, you know, I think about the family all the day, but he tells him he's not really Batman, that he's Clayface. So then in this world, he's trying to convince him that he's just Clayface playing the role.
Well, Jason says he's Clayface because he doesn't believe that he's Batman. Yeah, they got to remember, every world that they're in, they don't believe that it's that Bruce, except for Dick Grayson in the first one that said, you know, you killed all my brothers. In this world, Jason's the only one that's in Gotham. He's the only one there. So nobody can get in or out. So he thinks that it's Clayface.
Yeah.
And he says, not a day goes by I didn't think about our family. It's like, you need to listen to me, Jason. Here's the thing, Bruce. You and I both really know you're not Batman. Isn't that right, Clayface? So he's talking about him being Clayface, which is interesting because that's a good way for the story to unfold with how this could be happening and what their perception is. The heart trying to trick him. How he always tries to talk his way out of these situations because he loves Jason. He loves Dick. He loves, you know, everybody. So this is kind of neat. You know, they're putting up that opposition to him. And
this is, you know, even if this is like if this is a multiverse, he still loves Jason. So he doesn't want to kill this Jason as much as he does any other Jason. And you know, he's screaming out, you know, it's like, you know, this is what you want, kind of like, because he's really getting effed with his mind hardcore with these ones here, to the point where he's probably even questioning his own reality on some levels.
Oh,
and
for sure.
Then the big fight breaks out between them, where he gets into more of like the internal dialogue of what the test is, the fear that he let Gotham down, the fear that he let Jason down, and also the fear that Jason was right, that his, like, Batman's lack of going that extra step is what, you know, is one of his weaknesses. And it's kind of like mirrors with what they were talking with Clark too. It's like you have to go all the way with this. And one of the fears with Batman is, it's like, how many times do you lock up the Joker, and how many times does he kill people that you start becoming liable for those deaths as well?
Right.
So,
and that's the only thing that I hate with Batman. And like, I don't want him to be this mass murderer, but his whole thing of like, if I kill one person, that means I'm going to kill everybody. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. It's the Joker. He's killed 10,000, 100,000 people. You know, like, geez Louise, dude.
And it never really, that question never hit harder than it did with Jason, because Jason was his son, and Joker beat him to death. And it was even mentioned in the Red Hood cartoon, where it's like, I understand you don't want to kill, but you let him alive and he killed me. Like, if it was other way around, I would have burned the earth to take him out. And it's just kind of like that constant deal.
Yeah, he tells him, he's like, I'm not asking you to kill Penguin. I'm not asking you to kill two. It's him. Like, the one that's done the most damage to not only him psychologically, but him, you know, physically.
And it's not even about redeeming criminals. It's just about Batman not wanting to cross a line. And it's one of the harder things about Batman, because if modern day, it's so much harder to pull that off than it did Golden Age. Like, Golden Age was like, okay, yeah, they don't kill. Nowadays, it's kind of like, could you even be a Batman without using violent, like, lethal force in today's world, you know?
Because you know, the original Batman, for like the first 20 issues, Batman was just killing the shit out of everybody. It was great. It was great. Like, I love doing those episodes of Bat Bits, dude. They're fucking hilarious. They're so funny.
Straight up breaking necks, shooting people.
Dude, he went up against a giant. Okay, this is one of my favorite ones. And he hung him. He broke the giant's neck and then hung him from a rope and paraded him around, because it's supposed to be New York City before it was Gotham. That's what they allude to. And the buildings kind of look like New York. And he parades him around the city, showing everybody, like, look, don't fuck with me. Like, literally flies this dead giant around. And then there's another one where it might be in the same issue, actually, where he's getting attacked by a bunch of pygmies, like little people, and he's just chucking them off a high-speed train, and they're just dying left and right, dude. It's fucking hilarious. So funny.
There's this great interaction when DC was doing the crossover with Marvel, where Joker is taking on Punisher, and Joker is talking to the Punisher, and he's like, you know, what happened to you must have happened when you were an adult, because when it happened to Batman, he must have been a child, because only a child reacts with the idea of that I will never kill. So it's like your trauma keeps you at the age of when the trauma happens. And then, like, with Punisher, since he was a full-grown, you know, as special forces guy, he just went on, you know, did his special forces thing. So it's kind of an interesting a deal between the two of them.
Yeah, that's like Punisher 2099. There's a few 2099s that I like. The old ones from the 90s. Spider-Man 2099 I like. I have a soft spot for. Punisher 2099 is bananas. But Doom 2099 is my favorite. But man, Punisher's, that story is crazy. If you've never read it, I hope they reprint it soon, because they did the Doom one and they did Spider-Man, but Punisher 2099 is fucking bananas, dude. It's so ridiculous and fun. So yeah, the artwork in this is unbelievable, man.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's right here. He breaks away from Jason. He's like, if you know, he knows from Arkham that if you just head up, you'll get out. And then he makes the door on him. Yeah, he makes his way up and heads out. And then he notices the city and how silent it is and how the sky is red. And he's trying to figure out what the heck's going on. And then that's where Jason comes in, and he's like, you're remembering now, aren't you, Basil? You're remembering the truth of what Arkham is and how essentially now all of Gotham is Arkham. And
yeah, that's when it's kind of ridiculous that they're still using Basil Karlo. It's like, okay. Right. And we find out that it's basically a bottled city. And below it, the Joker pretty much gassed the entire city.
Yeah.
And he's the only one there. He literally is the only person there. He's like, Gotham is now Arkham. Batman always thought I leaned into the violence or killing. That was his nightmare for me. He's like, I gave that up. The thing I learned from watching Bruce was how to be alone. And just like him, that was my destiny, to save Gotham alone. And this is where he explains what happened. He says Joker happened. And these are beautiful, man. Like him standing on the edge with the gargoyle. Like, this is beautiful.
Oh, I love the Red Hood Batman suit too.
The Red Hood Batman suit is cool.
Yeah, that's
Hopefully
a
they make a
badass
figure
suit.
of it. He's got
Yeah, I
one
hope
like
so.
red tread and one white tread. Pretty dope. He's looking down at all the gas below, and he says he launched the biggest joke of all. We managed to evacuate the city. The dome keeps Joker's irradiated gas trapped. I had to stay behind, keep it safe, isolated. The plus side is not a single crime has happened in 20 years. He's like, you've been here for 20 fucking years. Holy shit.
And this is
And
a huge
yeah,
fear for him too, is that Jason would be alone, that his penance for violence and wanting to be a solo act, and this is like a manifestation of that. He's like, Jesus, you know, he
well,
did
it's
not
because
want this
Bruce
one.
is alone. That's why.
Yeah.
It's Bruce. He's such a contradictory character. He has all these fears for these people, but he still thinks, no, I'll shoulder it. I could do it because I'm Bruce Wayne. But he's so hypocritical in the fact of, like, look what you're instilling in them. You might be able to instill and say, hey, we need to do this together. We have to do all these things together. But when it comes down to it, how many times have you told them not to go after the Joker or leave this to me? This is above you. Dude, blah, blah, blah. He's a big fucking contradiction.
And
and that's where I thought this story did very well.
Yeah.
Because everything that Jason's saying is correct. He's 100% telling the truth.
When he was talking to Dick Grayson in the first issue, it was like the idea of Dick Grayson becoming Batman, shouldering that burden, was like a fear all of itself, not because of being replaced. It's because like the last thing he wants his son to do is to have to face that kind of burden, which I think is very interesting too. It's like, go do your own thing. You don't want this curse. It's almost like he treats the Batman Cal as a curse in a lot of aspects, you know, and he wants these kids to be better than him.
Yeah, and I can agree with that because they've changed the narrative a lot. But I mean, he was basically training him to be the next Batman. It was only until he became Nightwing that it was like, oh shit, he's got his own thing going on, you know. But you're right. You're definitely right. So Jason gets his his zippy zap wand ready.
More time for more treatments.
Yes. He says, you need to accept it, Basil, whatever. You're not Batman. I am. And this is where Bruce kind of figures out something. He's like, okay, so the heart is telling me basically that it wants me to believe that I'm Clayface. So he could tap into the power of the heart. And he becomes Clayface. He says, I'll play your game.
This part's really interesting. It's like it's that he was able to do this. So it's like, how much control does he have? Or is he jumping like you talking about for multiverse? Is he jumping bodies? Like, is he actually?
I don't think so. No, I think it's the heart. I just think it's the heart. Yeah. The heart is definitely doing this. It's just manifesting things that have existed.
Yeah.
He's definitely inside the heart for sure. For sure. I think so, because it doesn't like whenever I was thinking about it, like the week before when we didn't have this issue, it makes more sense that this is just the heart.
Yeah,
it just does. There's still things that exist inside of there that he's manipulating it through the powers of the Apocalypse heart. You know, this is all that Omega energy, but he's playing the game. So it's like, is there some sort of power in there that can make him do this? So yeah, he's kind of understanding, all right, I'm going to play your game. I'm going to play the game. I am Clayface. So yeah, but I don't think he's physically in a different place. I think it's the heart manifesting this stuff. And so it's like the same way. It's the same way that in the Versus books that they can change different bodies and they can look different and all those things. It's the same thing.
I was thinking the same thing, that it's just like in the heart already showed that you could be any form that you want in these Versus battle rounds. So it's not like it's beyond thinking that the heart could do this to Batman. It's just the Batman's playing a different game. He's not doing a best out of 3 kind of deal. He's going on this like own journey where he it's like facing fears of Christmas future kind of deal.
Yeah, he's basically doing the Christmas Carol.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
But if you read like the other books, like we said, the Versus books, they even do it as like, okay, round 1, and then Wonder Woman looks like this, looks like old Wonder Woman, and then looks like Amazon Wonder Woman, and then this, and Lobo was able to turn back into hipster doofus Lobo, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that he's finally realized like he can do those things too, because the heart was basically telling him, because the heart is talking through Jason right here.
Yeah.
And the heart was talking through the manifestation of Dick Grayson, where he didn't understand what was going on. He went to kill him, and then it zapped him again. The heart wants this game to be played, because if you look at anything that's happened in KO, and you look at anything that's happened in the side books, anytime they go off the rails of not playing the game, it either they get eliminated or they get zapped into having to play the game again. You know what I mean? They have the rules make it to where you have to do that. Kind of look like when they were in KO 2, whenever it looked like Lex Luthor was going to win because he had the black ring, right? He had the Black Lantern ring.
Yeah.
And he raised all the gods that Darkseid had killed there. It's like, it just so happens to be that the last fucking thing that was the mystery item was the Omega Sanction. The only thing that could take out those gods, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And restore Superman's hand. So I think it's an interesting way of telling these stories. I think it's a very interesting way of telling these stories, because you're able to tell basically multiverse stories, but inside the narrative of what KO has presented to us. That's why I think this is the most fascinating out of all the tie-ins.
Yeah. And it allows you to play around with canon without it actually affecting canon.
Correct.
So you get to delve into it. And canon's always going to be a problem for anyone who swims around in the DC or Marvel universes, just because of when you have a character that old, dealing with that much canon can almost feel like baggage, because it's like, okay, I can't do this. This has already been done, stuff along those lines. So Scott Snyder's really kind of created a great playground. And that's what's really cool about this collection event is this mega event, is that it's separate, but yet it's still in there, and it's its own thing. Hey, what's up, Cactus? Cactus joined me last night on the stream. He was first time there, so I'm glad to see you're back.
Yep.
But yeah, it's really cool playground he has to play with in here, and it's allowing all this cool stuff that we get to see what happens between Lobo and Wonder Woman. And Lobo no one dies technically at the end. It's just you're kind of out, and you're just a statue until whoever gets the power to search to go back. Yeah.
Right. That's only if the person who wins gets the powers and restores them back.
Yeah.
If they don't restore them back, then they're fucking dead. They're gone.
Yeah.
So, and that's what makes it interesting, that the Booster Gold being Darkseid being Booster Gold. So like, where is the real Booster? Where's he been? What's he doing? You know, it's kind of
going to play into this, or is that the real Booster, but he's possessed?
But he's possessed, right?
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of things that could be happening, which I think is really neat. I think it's it's such a cool way to tell the story. And like you said, you could just fuck around with things that have happened or things that didn't happen, and you can mess with the canon without it actually affecting. It affects the character, but not the story overall, which is smart, because if they had both Batman and Superman in the KO event, you'd be like, oh, okay, when are those two are going to be at the end, and they're going to have to fight, and is Batman going to make the sacrifice because Bruce is like, I have to do this because you're pure of heart and you'll put things back the way that they're supposed to be, as opposed to me, which I would try to fix things, and that's not right. Yeah.
What are we going to get because there's all sorts of, like, imagine, okay, Batman makes his way back into the tournament. Batman wins. He brings everything back to the way it was, but then does something selfish, like brings his parents back.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I think he would be tempted, so that's why he would sacrifice himself and have Clark do it, because Clark's going to do what's right no matter what. He's going to do what's right. they'll have that emotional conflict because that's how you have to tell Superman stories. When you're physically made to punch every problem away, you have to tell the psychological and emotional story. That's how you connect with Superman. And it, with Batman, you could tell both. You could tell both stories because you could tell the emotional story, but you can also tell the physical story because he's not going to be able to beat physically every person. He's going to have to outthink every person.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's that. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. I'm definitely looking forward to what's going on next. And I'm gonna read DC K.O. 3 tonight. I got that in the mail. Woohoo!
Sweet.
Yeah, dude. But I've been getting so many goddamn books, dude. I think I bought like 90 something so far this month.
Yeah, my stack of unread ones next to my recliner, it's just growing all the time. Like if I didn't do reviews like this, I would probably not read anything. So it's one of the blessings of doing reviews is I actually force myself to take time to read this stuff, which I've been enjoying immensely. There's a lot of good stuff coming out right now from the big three. So
yeah, Marvel has some pretty cool stuff. I'm not normally a Marvel guy. That doesn't mean that I don't like a lot of Marvel books. I mean, you can see the red labels up here and down there and over there.
Yeah.
I'm mostly though grew up on DC. That was what grabbed me. It was DC Comics. So it's kind of what I know more of.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So, launching a new channel is hard. It's good, and we appreciate everybody that showed up here. Our shows usually will be about an hour long for whenever it's a live show. We are going to have some pre-recorded video and reviews, which we might do together or individually. We'll, figure stuff out. But I think from here, we're going to go into our shorts, and then next week, we're going to do DC K.O. 3. I would like to, or should we do Knightfight 3 because it did come out beforehand? We'll figure it out. We'll make a post on YouTube telling you what we're gonna do because we talk about everything here and we kind of want to do what is right. We want to kind of do what both of us agree upon.
Yeah.
And then we'll have I'm going to talk to my buddy Chris, see when he wants to come on, and we'll do an interview or talk along, and he can tell us all about the stuff he's worked on, and I'll tell you the interesting story about how we met.
That should be a fun time too. It'd be awesome.
It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be a weird story. I'm gonna tell it, but I will tell the PG version. I'll say that because I don't want to get him in trouble or anything. So, yeah, man. What do you have coming up, Warren? I know you have a lot of things going on. I saw MS Krang.
Yes.
So there was that.
There was that.
Amazing.
The MS Krang, and I did a celebrating 100 subs on my YouTube channel. This Thursday, I have been doing live draws, but the live draws on Thursday haven't been as active, so I might just work on making sure my video for Saturday is ready. I've been doing Lunchbox Comics spotlights, and the first three are kind of rough, so I'm going to try to put and fine tune and make them a little bit better. This Friday I'll be on the show with you for the last panel.
Yeah, which we will be doing. We will be doing. I don't have to go anywhere. Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, we have the last panel is Friday. Saturday, I'll try to drop the new spotlight, and then coming back around to Monday when we do either DC K.O. number 3.
No, it'll be on Wednesday. It's gonna be on Wednesday.
That's right, Wednesday. That's right, Wednesday. We'll be doing that. Tuesday will be another live draw, and then I might try to squeeze something in on Monday too. But right now, I'm just trying to keep my shorts up, keep the pre-recorded video, and then now we're going to be doing videos for this one. So I might just stick to streaming on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and then just spend time with the pre-recorded videos because they do take a little bit of time, and they're trying to make sure that they look good and right. And building, like you said earlier, building up new channels is always tough. So I'm trying to build up. We're both building up our own individual channels as well as trying to build this one.
I'm really not. You're building up your channel. I don't care about my channel. I put out videos when I want to. I never did YouTube to become popular or make money.
Yeah.
I already have a friend and I already have a massive bank account, so I don't need any of those things.
I'm mostly trying to get an audience to buy well, not even buy, just to read my book. Like that's like I want people to read my stuff, my Adventures of Sig and Joe, my next squirrel book I'm coming out with along those lines. So I'm trying to build up that audience to get my art out there more. So that's mostly like the main deal. Like I'm not really worried about monetizing YouTube. I'm just more along the lines of like, hey, I got a book out and people want to read it.
You want people to read the book. Makes sense. And we will be reviewing The Adventures of Sig and Joe when the graphic novel comes out, and that'll be fun.
Already. And then once I should be able to order it hopefully by next week, and then depending on how long it takes to get it back to me. So hopefully by February I have copies in my hand.
Woohoo! That'll be cool, man.
Out.
That'll be awesome. I mean, that's going to be really cool.
Yeah,
it's got to feel good.
When I held the first one in my hand, the issue 1, it was like this great moment for me because it was the completion. This was like the next milestone, getting not only just the one done, but now I've got an entire arc done, over 200 pages of my work, and being able to hold that in my hand is just going to be a really special moment for me again. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine that, starting something from scratch and writing and all that. That's got to be awesome. It's be pretty sweet. So yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit before we leave here. I know you said you really haven't gotten anything, but I'll go over on what did we get. And this is from the past couple weeks. I have a envelope, well, one of those cardboard envelope type things upstairs. The comics come in, so I did not open that yet, but I do know what's in it. But the past couple weeks, I got Knightfight #3. One of my favorite books right now, which I think is incredible. The second part of Arcadia. It's The Question, Batman, and Green Arrow. And it's awesome. Awesome book, man. I love it so much. It's like, as soon as I see it, that it's delivered, I read that first.
Yeah, I've gone through the pages. I haven't read it yet, but the artwork is just really, really good in it.
Yeah. Absolute Superman. Is this 15? Yeah, 15.
Okay, cool.
Absolute Green Lantern 10. And I don't understand. Matt Fraction's Batman #5. Even though Hush 2 162 hasn't come out. Underrated book, JSA #15. I have all the JSAs so far from this event. This all in that they're doing. Ultimate Wolverine #13, which I'm excited to read because Ultimate Endgame has happened, and the maker's on the cover with Wolverine in that one. Joe Kelly, Amazing Spider-Man #19. And then what do we got? I don't know if this, I can't remember if this is #4 or something. But anyway, the Red Band Punisher series, which has been really cool. I bought the foil covered for Ultimate Endgame, which I think is cool. #1. And the Arkham special for Batman. And I got a bunch of books upstairs that I got to go through. So, yeah, it's been a lot, man. It has been a lot.
Yeah, I just Cactus. I put a link into my Global Comics. That's where all of my work is right now, and it's all available to read for free, digitally on there. And then once I get the graphic novel in hand, I'll have an avenue of a way you could pick it up and purchase it. But right now, I just have everything digitally.
Yep. So yeah, I got last panel on Friday, and then I'm going to try to have the first fight for DC K.O. I'm gonna have the first short up hopefully by Monday. Gonna try to have like Monday release and then Warren for Friday. So we'll figure that out, but I'll have that. And I'm also doing shorts for this channel. I'm going to be doing Batman Nightfall. I'm going to take each chapter and make it into a short. Those will be whenever I can get them done. I already got the first one done. So I'm going to be doing each chapter as a short. It's going to be like a long ass project, but they will be able to be watched, you know, all in one go, so you could watch all the different chapters. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man. We're gonna try to do some cool stuff, and we will take some requests from the chat. We want this to be interactive. We want the chat to be very interactive. You know, you guys say whatever you want to say, just don't be assholes. And honestly, I don't really care. So, you know, just have fun and let's talk comics.
Heck yeah. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about stuff that we like. And stuff that's good to read, and we're going to show you guys stuff, and if you have any suggestions, we're always down to check it out and find new stuff and along those lines.
Yep. So yeah, for everybody out there in comic book world, have a great night. Good night, Warren.
Good night, Labs.